What's good, peeps? Self-isolation, day 39. Again, hopefully everyone is doing well. Hopefully everyone is okay wherever you are in this world right now. It's another great day outside. So if you can, try and get your government allotted 1 hour of exercise. Unfortunately, I've had to stop running for the last couple of days because I've hurt my calf, right? Again, it's age, isn't it? It has to be age. I mean, I never used to have fucking calf injuries before. Now all of a sudden my calf is killing me. I've actually got an ice pack on it as we speak. I don't know. It's weird though. It's like since I've been running with those fancy trainers, I feel like, I don't know, I'm picking up little niggles. When I was running with my basic Reeboks, I don't know why I'm looking for them. They could be here. No injuries. Fancy trainers, injuries. Don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Well, I do know what it means, but hey, we're not going to talk about that right now. Quickly, Patreons. I have sent a message to you all about the Skype and Zoom chats. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, time slots are there. Please pick a time slot so I can get that kind of chalked off and that can be done. All right. We are going to talk about Andy Ruiz Jr. linking up with Team Canelo. Before we do that, as per usual now, I am going to go through what else is trending in this crazy world of boxing. Again, timestamps will be in the description box. So if you just want to click on to the Andy Ruiz story, it is in the description box down below. I can do that now, right? Down below. Just click on any story you want. Let's quickly jump over to Boxing Scene and see if there are any stories that we can quickly discuss. All right, what's this one first? AMIR Khan, it would be very hard to get motivated with no fans. Yeah, right. I mean, it's something that's not really spoken about. It's almost been about what we as fans want. But for boxers, it's going to be extremely difficult, right, to have a fight with no fans there. I mean, look, they have sparring sessions with no fans there, I guess, so they can maybe kind of replicate that. But still, for those boxers that feed off the fans, feed off that adrenaline, especially if you're a top boxer, if you're like low level where you're used to fighting in front of a man and his dog, then it ain't going to matter to you, is it? But if you're a top level boxer and like an AMIR Khan, for example, where you do sell out arenas of 15, 20,000 to try and have what is a major fight. Remember, these top level boxers aren't fighting Mickey Mouse, right? They are having either world title fights or world title eliminators or fighting for very big money, right? It's going to be very difficult to kind of get up for that. I guess on the flip side, the way you get up for it or get motivated is because it is a world title fight, because it is a final eliminator, because you are getting high 6 figures or 7 figures. So I guess that should be the motivation, right? We don't know when big events will be back, right? When are we going to be allowed to, I don't know, congregate in mass? When are we going to be allowed, to have 20, 30, in AJ's case, 60,000 people all together? So, yeah, I guess it's easier for AMIR Khan because he's loaded, right? He's very, very wealthy. So he might just say, you know what, fuck it, I'm sitting this out. But for a lot of boxers that need the finances, they don't have a choice. They're going to have to get motivated to fight with no fans. Barry Hearn says, Fury versus AJ makes sense to do next. Is it just him saying it? Sometimes these people just talk, don't they? I mean, yes, it does make sense, right? I mean, we in boxing seem to just wait and wait. It's like we wait and wait and wait, and then it just doesn't happen, right? Someone will always throw a spanner in the works. Right now, we have a situation with Joshua Fury where, especially when you think about, I don't know, I think travel is going to be difficult as well. So we've got 2 Brits that are currently in Britain that could get it on. Right now, all the stars are aligning. It makes absolute perfect sense now, right? Joshua's 30, Fury's 31. They have all the belts. They are, I think, most people recognize as number 1 and number 2. Fury's got the Ring magazine belt. Literally, every box is ticked here. Even when Wilder was going to fight Joshua, I don't think people were talking about the Ring magazine belt being put on the line. But now the Ring magazine belt's being put on the line. I'm trying to think, is Fury versus Joshua a bigger financial fight than it would have been Joshua versus Wilder? Not sure. Not sure. Maybe. But yeah, look, we all want it now. Whether it's going to happen now is another thing altogether. All right, Mike Tyson has offer of $1 million for exhibition fights against Galen Williams or Hall. Who are Galen Williams and Hall? So I just need to click onto this. Oh, okay. Oh, they're footballers turned boxers. So Australian, so rugby players basically. Sonny Bill Williams, Paul Gallen, and Barry Hall. Bloody hell, $1 million. And they're saying that they would hold these exhibition. They say exhibition fight with Tyson. There's no exhibition fight about it. He's going in there to kill someone. But they're saying so they'll hold these exhibition fights in Australia at the Melbourne Arena, which has a 10,000 capacity, or the Prince's Park, where they'll get 30,000. Look, to be honest with you, Mike Tyson could come back and earn. I think he could get over $1 million. Maybe I'm exaggerating a bit. What do you guys think? I feel like if Mike Tyson said he's going to have an exhibition fight with someone of note, and it's like, I don't know, 6 rounds, 2-minute rounds of someone of note. I'm trying to think, who could Tyson fight? And it would generate, I don't know if it will generate pay-per-view, but it will generate something, right? Who could he ever fight? I think I'd be scared if he was to fight someone like Evander Holyfield, because I think something would click in both of their heads and it would turn into a proper fight. Like, there would be no feel-outs. They would actually go and try and knock each other out. So I'd be scared about someone like that, if I'm honest with you. Who could he have an exhibition fight? People have said someone like Shannon Briggs. God, that would be fucking exciting, but I don't know. But that would be interesting. All right, anything else? WBC explores possibility of remote scoring for upcoming sanctioned belts. Okay, is this in relation to COVID-19? So not to have people there, or is it just future? It makes sense. I don't think you necessarily. I don't think you necessarily need to be there, right? I've always said that I feel like we at home sometimes even get better angles than judges scoring a fight. I actually think that sometimes you get better angles, so you don't need to be ringside. I don't think you need to be. I actually do think being ringside, scoring a fight, you can somehow get influenced by the crowd noise as well. So I don't know. It'd be good for them to be away from the venue, so remotely, and not have crowd noise. So I don't know how you're going to mute that out and just watch it on fucking mute. A couple more stories here. DEMTRIUS Andrade, I'll bust up Billy Joe Saunders at 160 or 168, no problem. I don't know if you'll bust him up, if I'm honest with you. I'm a big Andrade fan. He's not he's not the busting up type of person, is he, to be honest with you? That's just not how he is. He's a boxer. And it would be, I actually think, and I think a lot of people pointing this out, I think Billy Joe Saunders Andrade would actually be a snooze fest. I think it would be one of the most boring fights in history of boxing. I like it, don't get me wrong, I'd still watch it as a guy that likes those type of things, believe it or not. I don't want everything to be a fucking barroom brawl, but I think it would be a boring fight, and I think neither man would bust up neither man, if I'm honest with you. That's just not how they built, that's not what they do. All right, what's this one? Klitschko willing to help Usyk prepare for clash with Chisora. Does he mean spar or just provide his facility? And he does have a crazy facility. Because if it's sparring, look, you would never turn down sparring with Klitschko, even Klitschko now. But in terms of a style, that's just, doesn't work, does it? At all, right? Chisora's style and Klitschko's style are completely different. So I don't know how that actually does anything. A couple more bits here before we move on. PULEV, again. After I beat Joshua, I look forward to fighting Tyson Fury. PULEV, can you stop? Can you just stop? Like, you're not getting past Joshua, I don't believe. All right? And you're certainly not fighting Tyson Fury. The funny thing is, I was actually screaming about a possible Fury-PULEV fight, and then Fury chose Otto Wallin. So, yeah. So, I just, PULEV next. AMIR Khan, we all know Joshua is A-side, but Fury is number one at the weight. do we all know Joshua is the A side? Is that still? I hate this A side, B side talk anyway, but if it was A side, B side, which look, I think Joshua is the A side in terms of if someone, I don't know, some sort of financial whiz kid was to come break it all down, they would say that Joshua generates more money because I do believe that. But that gap is closing rapidly. I'm telling you now, that gap's closing rapidly. I do believe that if Fury was to have a fight over here with Pulev, as an example, I think Fury could sell out a stadium as well. I don't know how big a stadium, right? I don't know if he'll do 60,000 tickets, but I do think he could sell 40 to 50, whereas he could never have done that in my head a year ago. No way, especially not against a Pulev. So I think Fury is starting to close. I think Fury's pay-per-view numbers over here, remember American pay-per-view numbers, it's quite difficult to value because obviously they're so highly priced. If he was to do a fight over here, pay-per-view at a reasonable time, 9 o'clock, again, let's say Pulev, for example, I think he'll do good numbers. So I think Joshua is still the A side, but I do believe that it's starting to close rapidly. All right, let's talk Eddy Ruiz linking up with Reynoso. It's been made official now. I did do a video about this maybe about a week ago saying that there was discussions, and I said it would be a great idea for Eddy Ruiz to join that team. I think it's a fantastic team, not just because of Canelo. Obviously, that's a winning team, but Canelo's there, Oscar Valdez is there, Martinez is there, Ryan Garcia is there, and obviously now Eddy Ruiz is there. That's one hell of a stable, right? It's the best stable in the world, by far, right? I can't think of a stable that good. I think it's smart for Eddy Ruiz. I think he lacks, obviously, discipline. We know that, right? I mean, 293 pounds against AJ tells me he lacks discipline. But I also feel there's an element of that lack of discipline comes from a lack of motivation. Now, you can't have a lack of motivation if that's your camp. Remember the names I just mentioned. Those guys are all winners, right? All winners. Apart from Ryan Garcia, all former or current world champions. That's ridiculous, right? That's such a good stable to be in. And I think it's important for him. I think he needs to go. And look, they're all obviously not going to be in the training camps at the same time. But there probably will be a time where there might be one or two. Even if Canelo's not in there, he will pop in. And I think he just needs to be in a camp where he's looking to his left and looking to his right. And you've got world champions, former world champions working and grinding their arse off. This guy can't not grind his arse off if he's seeing that. And then you add into the element how good a trainer Reynoso is. You know, not just him, but his father as well. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. And I think it's great. I hope that it sees a new Ruiz. I mean, I'm a massive Ruiz fan. I have to be honest with you. I like everything about him. I mean, even people have spoken about this, the new arrogant Ruiz because he's got money. You get $10 million and see how it changes you. It's going to change you, right? There's no doubt about it. You've gone from earning middle six figures, $200,000-$300,000 to becoming the heavyweight champion of the world, the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world. You got what, 4 or 5 million for that. The rematch, I think you got what, 10 million. That will fucking play with your mind a little bit. But I think now he's calmed down a bit. He's got a trainer like Reynoso. He's got Canelo in the camp, which is a massive thing, by the way, I think. Because, I mean, you just watch how hard Canelo trains in camp. I mean, I think it's fantastic. Have they said anything about it? Let's have a quick look. Have they said anything? I don't think there's released anything. Okay, Reynoso has just released on his Instagram page, welcome to the team, Andy. Let's give it a good go. I like that. Let's give it a good go. It's still unfortunate for Manny Robles, right? I mean, look what he done, with Eddy Ruiz. He done a good job. But in the end, change is good sometimes. Listening to a different voice, different tactics, that's good. I can't lie to you, I always massively respect those fighters that have stayed with the same trainers for years. Like surely you must get bored of doing the same thing all the time. right? Because it probably will be the same thing all the time. Obviously, there will be different tweaks depending upon who you're fighting and what style of fighting, but majority of the time, you kind of know what's going to happen in the training camp. So respect to those guys that stay. But sometimes I do think it's nice to kind of maybe listen to a new voice. So let's hope this can happen. I'm happy that it wasn't Teddy Atlas, if I'm honest with you. I just don't think that would have worked. And with this new training setup, it'd be good to see who Andy Ruiz fights next, or when Andy Ruiz fights next, right? Obviously, because of COVID-19, we don't know what's going on. But you do wonder if they're going to try and sort of ease in with something small now. Andy Ruiz did speak about sort of maybe having a warm-up fight before fighting someone in the top 10. I think he's going to stick to that now. You know, you need, I think, at least 3 or 4 training camps to really kind of nail down what your new trainer's teaching you. Some people pick it up a lot sooner than others, but I think you need 3 or 4. So you kind of wonder if they're going to maybe have a couple of, not gimme fights, but guys in and around the top 30 before they then take on someone within the top sort of 6 or 7, possibly, right? Maybe even a Dillian Whyte later on down the line. But I like this setup a lot. I think it's great. I think he needs it. And I look forward to seeing Andy come back and show people that he's more than just a Buster Douglas, as people have been saying, and he can compete with the top dogs again. Look, can he win a world title? Who knows, right? Who knows? I don't have that crystal ball. But I tell you one thing, Andy Ruiz can compete with any heavyweight out there. I'm convinced of it, any. Yeah, even Tyson Fury. I think Andy Ruiz, in shape, can compete. Can he beat? I'm not saying he would beat them, people. Calm down before people start to, Addy. I'm just saying he can compete. What do you guys think anyway about that move? Let me know. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, please like and share the videos. It really does help the channel a lot. And if you want to support the channel, I do have a Patreon account. The link is in the description. All right, I'm done. Peace.